will accept no outcome.
I see a city. I see.
I have sent you a comprehensive energy plan to devastate wildlife.
New Britain, new Labour, new Britain.
I feel the hand of history upon our shoulder.
The American flag stands for corporate scandals, recession, stock market declines, blackmail.
New Britain, new Labour, new Britain.
This is the beginning of truth.
One person died and 19 others were injured in the explosion. And this is just a taste of what's to come on Great Lake Deals.
You become a millionaire in just 1 week.
Take it.
Not a strategy.
My overriding message to you tonight, my lovely people, is we're doomed. I just want to tell you, just get it straight. We're doomed. We're fucked. We're all going to hell. Welcome to the comedy show. We are fucked. Bush gets elected and you can hear half the fucking world going, I'm going to take up flying lessons. The Countryside Alliance demonstration in London. I have never cheered the police before in my life. Never. Cheer them? I wanted to fucking sponsor them. I've got videos of that. I play it back. Look at the baton, the artistry of the arc. That's marvellous. And of course all the upper class wandering around with that, good Lord, they're hitting us. Good Lord. You in the blue, you'll never work my estate again. Go away. The only trick the police missed, they should have sent the mounted horse brigade in after them. The Countryside Alliance scatter, go to the alleyways of London, dig them out, they've gone to ground, hurrah! And I know people go, yes, Mark, but you just hate fox hunting and want to see it banned because you believe it to be the sport of the upper class. And this is mere class hatred and spite on your part. Yes. You're absolutely right, and I'll tell you this for now. Once we've got fox hunting, we're coming for opera and polo. I want to see every last ounce of pleasure squeezed out of the landed gentry. Fucking nothing left. All they've got is sitting in their mansions looking out the window as ramblers walk across their lawn. That's what I want. Charging across in revolutionary bobble hat, shaking Kendall mint cake in anger. But Mark, you don't understand. The fox is a pest. So are cockroaches. I don't get dressed up and chase them over the sofa with a bugle. Grow up. And but Mark, you don't understand, because you see, fox hunting these days is very déclassé. Everyone's doing it. Oh, yes. Like the Charleston. Everyone's doing it. What we do, this is how the upper class give up fox hunting forever. Take them at their word. Déclassé, fucking great. Thousands of Herberts from South London council estates, turn up on nicked ponies. All right, fucking joining in nicely, all right? Got a bit of Burberry, thought I'd blend, all right? Nicely. Here we go. Where's the fucking ashtray on the neck? What's going on? In fact, maybe have a couple of speakers on the back of the saddle. Boom, dum, 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 boom, dum, boom. Raised horses' hooves and little neon lights on the back. I should say I did get into trouble with some hunt saboteurs recently who gave me a T-shirt. And on the T-shirt it said, words mean nothing, actions everything. And I merely said, well, why did you write that? If there are any Americans, I just want to say you're welcome. That's all I wanted to say. You're welcome. I'm obviously going to criticise American foreign policy. It's not aimed at you, all right? If you take offence, I'm sorry. Just regard it as friendly fire. So, what's the difference between an Iraqi civilian and a British soldier? I don't know. Welcome to the American Army. Now, my favourite anti-war banner was also American. 3 words. Lesbians against Bush. Oh, perfect. Oh, it works on so many levels. So, yes, America hasn't quite got the hang of this liberation gig. I don't think they ever have. They go, charge you. We liberated you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. No, we liberated you. We got rid of Saddam Hussein. No, thank you. Fuck off. No, we liberated you. Hello, suicide bombers? Do you do requests? Now, before you start going, oh, he's fucking endorsing suicide bombers. That's fucking it for me, mate. I'm fucking old. Seriously, I'm not. It's a fucking difficult job, isn't it, suicide bombers? There's not exactly a career ladder here, is there? How do they recruit? Do they have adverts in the local paper? Bored with life, no friends, must have own car. I merely ask. You know, it's incredible. Then the pictures came out of Abu Ghraib, of the prison, of the torture, of the mayhem, and Bush appeared on Arabic television that was broadcast all across the world, and he stood there and said, these pictures do not show the America I know. Really? Really? Well, I bet there are people in Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Panama, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, St. Kitts, Grenada, Cuba, Angola, Namibia, South Africa, Lesotho, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, Congo, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Liberia, Western Sahara, Libya, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Vietnam, Aceh, Cambodia, East Timor, Laos, and the Philippines going, looks remarkably familiar to us. I'll tell you what we should do for world peace. Invade America. Who's up for it? Oh, fucking hell, we could raise a fucking army. That would be fucking great. Now's the time to invade America because there aren't that many troops actually in the country anymore. Now, with all this stuff about the war on terror, Israel was fucking incredible. They were just remarkable during the whole invasion of Iraq. Get them over there. Who? Iraq. They're terrible. They've ignored UN resolution after UN resolution. Ooh, they've got weapons of mass destruction and they've taken other people's territory. They're dreadful. The cheek of it. It's like the Catholic Church going, the paedophiles went that away. If you legalise brothels, and loyalty cards come into it, but also if you legalise brothels, the sex workers can go on strike. They can start to organise, form trade unions, demand better health and safety, better pay, better conditions. If they go on strike, big braziers outside the fucking brothels, huge picket lines, huge banners, can't fuck, won't fuck, can't fuck, won't fuck. After a few months, for some unknown reason, the government and the authorities are a little bit tense. They panic and call the army in to do the prostitutes' jobs. You had that whole thing about we will fight terror by introducing ID cards. How will that stop terrorism? They are terrorists. They could fib. Will you catch them out with clever questions on the form? Occupation, suicide, oh. You know, they're terrorists. They network with other terrorists, with arms dealers, with mafia. They're not out there having conversations going, I can get you Semtex, no problem. I can get you detonators, no problem. But fake ID cards? What kind of a monster do you think I am? Everyone, this is the security services. Beware! Beware! We have new information, imminent attack. Warning, warning, danger. Will Robinson, beware. We're going to be attacked. Yes. Where? Somewhere. When? Soonish. You're making this up. It's worked so far. The one we always get in London. Beware, everyone. There could be a gas attack on the London Underground. You could all be killed. Fuck off. You're more likely to die in the London Underground because some bastards privatised it, given the maintenance contract to Balfour Beatty, who subcontracted to Jarvis, who swapped it in the pub for a fucking Ford Transit. What's the difference between Al-Qaeda and Jarvis rail maintenance? Well, when Al-Qaeda indiscriminately killed people, they actually admit responsibility. So anyway, the arrest, that all, what happened was, I was with my mate Sam, who's an old crusty, who's probably one of my best friends, and I was talking to him the other day. I said, what's the best way to describe you to the audience? And Sam said to me, tell the audience, right, I used to roadie for a band called Sheep on Drugs and was sacked by the management for being a bad influence on the band. So probably not the best person to be with in the public gallery of the Scottish Parliament on the day they dropped the first bombs on Iraq. Probably not the best person. We're sitting there, and you see, all they're up. This is the only fucking thing I've learned. Because all of them are fuckers. Politicians wank. Apart from two, which is Caroline Lucas, the Green MEP, and she's quite good because I've been nicked with her. And another one called Tommy Sheridan, who's the Scottish Socialist MSP, and he's fucking great. I like him because if you phone up his mobile and get through to the answer machine, I promise you, the message just goes, "This is Tommy Sheridan. I'm out right now fighting Tony Blair and his Tory policies. And I hope you're doing the same. Keep your chin up. Don't let them get you down. Leave your name and number after the beep." Which is an act of genius. And so I'm up there in the Scottish Parliament, and this is the one thing I've learned, which is basically this: the upper class hate us. They just hate us, especially if you've actually worked. You know, awful people, dreadful. Oh, dreadful people. Oh, smoked Super Kings, too long, awful, bad. Ooh. Oh, dreadful. Pot noodles, terrible. Oh, cars, bricks, caravans, static from all the shell suits. Bad. Oh, dreadful. And they breed. Oh, is there a war on? Off you all go. You're marvellous. You're heroes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And they're just the same in the Scottish Parliament. They couldn't fucking wait to get up there and send the troops out. They couldn't fucking wait to put someone else in the front line. They're all up there. The British troops are the finest in the world, and they deserve all the support that we can give them. Like yours is worth fuck all. I found myself saying, perhaps louder than I should. And what happens is they don't send the police in, they send in stewards with tartan blazers who appear next to you like the tailor in Mr. Ben. Just go, and they just stand there tutting, going, you know, it's a shame really because it's yourself you're letting down. I've been patronised into silence. Sam goes 0 to 60, jumps up, "You lot got blood on your hands!" Poof! Chucks a huge bag of peace confetti all over the politicians. Peace confetti, easy to make on the computer, print it out, chop it up, give it a chuck. Our one had a bomb on one side and "I'm not at war with anyone" on the other. Bang! Straight over all the politicians. And the politicians react very calmly. "Oh, we're being attacked. Oh!" So we're watching the telly that night, and the newsreader comes on the local news. Amidst discussion of the invasion of Iraq in the Scottish Parliament, a confetti is struck. Fucking wicked guy. Fucking great. We're confettyists. Yeah. We're a social movement. Yeah. Viva la confettista. Viva. Paper is our weapon. Gravity our ally. Viva. We will strike anywhere, anytime. We will even do a wedding just to confuse you. So we're coming back home from that. I get a phone call from a friend of mine who's an old Quaker peace campaigner. Now, I love the Quakers. Bit quiet, narky if you nick their porridge, but good folk. Get a phone call saying, Mark, you must come up. We're having a demonstration at RAF Menwith Hill, which is the US spy base in Yorkshire. It's near Harrogate, and it's involved in Star Wars, helps guides the bombs in, spies on us. US base, we've got no control over it. You must come up, Mark. We're having a demonstration. Great, when are you having it? July the 4th. Is there any significance in the date? Yes. We're having Independence from America Day. The idea is we will go up to the base very politely and say, Independence is marvellous, we're very glad you have yours. Would you mind if we had ours? Would you kindly leave? Well, she was so polite, we should do it, really. It was so rude. But we arranged to do it. We put out the information. We get bands, we get DJs, rappers, speakers, all sorts. And we call it the Gatecrashers Ball. Dress code, tuxedos and ball gowns. Put out the info, and then you just have to wait and see who turns up. Come the day, Sam and I are 2 of 4 people who are putting up the banners outside the fence. Police everywhere, like hundreds of them. It's like, fuck, have you just been waiting since the miners' strike? Fucking loads of them there. This one officer comes up to Sam, excuse me, sir, get the T-shirt off. What? Get the T-shirt off. Round our way, there's normally a little light supper involved, maybe a candlelit occasion, you know. You don't know my name. I mean, I might like that, but you should check. Get the T-shirt off. That is an offensive T-shirt. It's got fuck Bush on it. That T-shirt is an offensive T-shirt that could lead someone to commit a breach of the peace. What? Someone could find it offensive and incite them to violence. Well, who finds it offensive? There's only 4 of us here. I find it offensive. Well, if you find it offensive and it incites you to an act of violence, you shouldn't be a police officer. I do sarcasm, not logic. He didn't actually say that. But get the T-shirt off. Sam goes to the van, takes the T-shirt off, comes back with a new T-shirt with NATO, now a terrorist organisation. Is this one legal? Yeah, it's fine. Fuck off and leave me alone. All right, fuck off. 500 people, dresses, sound systems, flags, all of that. Loads of cops surrounding all of us. And I always like to try and address them whenever I do these things. And just try and get a smile out of 1 or 2 of them. So I said, welcome to the event, everyone. Please be aware it's a non-violent day. Also, police officers, if you wish to join the demonstration at any point, you're very welcome to. You can see we've got beautiful, sexy people here. We have fantastic music. With your drug supply, we can have a party. And a couple of them do go, that was quite funny, wasn't it? That was quite funny. Most of them go, we'll kick the fat fuck in the kimono later. So, also, be aware, there's an issue of T-shirt legality. Sam has had his T-shirt removed because it could breach some kind of fucking law. Please be aware, many of you have got fuck Bush T-shirts, which is true. These T-shirts could be deemed to be offensive and could lead to a potential breach of the peace. Therefore, you could be arrested for them. If you have any queries about the legality of your garments, the officer who stopped Sam is PC275. He's just by the van over there, turning his head. People flocked. People are rushing over. Is my T-shirt legal? Is it all right? Yeah, it's fine. Fuck off and leave me alone. Just fuck off. Just fuck off. People are walking up with tie-dye going, what about this? Ah. Tasteless but legal. Leave me alone. My mate Baggy walks up to the officer with a fuck Bush T-shirt. Excuse me, officer. I went, you're taking the piss. Get that off. Written on his chest in marker pen, fuck Bush. Ha ha. This is the story of what happened to Simon Shaw and the end of the story. Simon Shaw was on the anti-war march in Edinburgh, flying a big American flag, like from the front row to me, big, flying it upside down. On the stars, which are now on the bottom, he's drawn a swastika in white. On the stripes in black, he's got fuck Bush. huge, right at the front. It's just, come on! Have you not seen Braveheart? Come on! And he lasts about a minute. Arrested and charged with incitement to racial hatred. And we're like, what? How can that be racism? Because there's a named individual on the flag, the president, not the people. Therefore, the critique is on the policy and implementation. Secondly, America is a nation made of many races. The only true race to come from America are the Native Americans. And incidentally, I saw a fantastic T-shirt recently. Picture of 4 Native Americans standing there and the slogan, "Fighting terrorism since 1492. Marvellous. So we got printed up 50,000 cards, postcards, with Simon's flag design on it. Gave it out to the audience and said, get your pens or your pencils out. Now, the audience invariably would say, we trust you, O leader, but why? And I would say, for I have the names of the 2 arresting officers and the address of the police station from which they work. If you think this is a shit arrest, send them a card. We had to get another 50,000 printed. Right, thousands of cards. I felt sorry for the fucking postman. Just, lads, your fuck Bush cards have arrived. Someone gone to fucking site for this shite. All right, boys, the roach material's here. They got cards from Kenya, from Germany. They got a couple from Saudi Arabia, which has got to be a bit, oh, Jesus Christ. Now, this is where it goes a bit fucking pear-shaped. You're sitting there going, fucking hell. No, it goes pear-shaped because a few years back, I was in the Western Sahara. A stag night gone wrong. What it was Western Sahara is just below Morocco. And Morocco invaded in 75, driving out the Western Sahrawis. And normal atrocities, bombing civilians, napalm, all of that crap. Since 1975, the Western Sahrawis, 250,000 of them, have lived in refugee camps in southwest Algeria in the desert, trying to get their country back. I went over to visit, was put up by refugees, which was quite fucking shabby on my part. When a refugee goes, come on, mate, I'll look after you. And they were fucking great. We had a really good time, apart from we were nearly hit by a camel. Because you know camels have got that look. Well, they just look at you and go, I've swallowed this one. And you just go, all right, I'll back off. But they can really move. And me and my mate was taking photographs. He got fucking like that. Nearly got carved up by a camel. And nearly hit him by that. The next day, we were with our friend and translator, a guy called Brahim Mokhtar, who's Western Sahrawi. We're walking around the refugee camp, come to this hut, and there's a camel's head on the ground. And I've just gone, bloody hell! And Brahim goes, we take threats to our guests very seriously. You've killed it. No, it is for meat, you idiot. You probably thought it was a tribal ritual. Well, I did, actually. You probably think we go in the desert for circumcision ceremonies. No, I don't. Well, we do on that one. Oh, don't fuck with me. I'm just a Guardian reader. So, at the end of our stay, Brahim says to me, Mark, you have enjoyed your stay. I said, it's been fantastic. He said, you have admired our struggle. I said, I think it's fucking righteous, geese, which he interpreted in the correct fashion. And he said, tell me, Mark, what are you going to do to stop the British government arming my enemies so they can kill me? What am I going to? Yes, what are you going to do? What, you want a plan of action? Yes. Well, I was going to start with wearing the badge. Direct debit? Maybe go on a march. Oh, fuck, you want commitment. Bizarrely enough, few days, it was a little while after we got back, I get a phone call from a politician. And this politician phoned up and said, Mark, I wonder if you could come in and meet me. I said, what's it about? You'll find out when you get here. Boom, spider sense, I'm ready. Going to meet him. He's sitting there. Lovely to meet you, Mark. You know, I get so forgetful. And I'm like Peter Sellers and Cato. Do you know, I'm fucking ready. I just get so forgetful in my old age. I keep leaving confidential government documents unattended on my desk. I bet you don't forget things like a notebook and a pen. I'm just off to the toilet for 45 minutes. So I've scrambled across the desk looking for this stuff. I mean, I find his diary, get a little bit waylaid, come back and find these documents that show BAE Systems, Britain's largest arms dealers, through their subsidiary Royal Ordnance, are refurbishing howitzer guns in the conflict area for Morocco against Western Sahara, breaching EU and government guidelines. So we do all the work. We get the stuff out to the press. We write to politicians. If you ever write to a politician, by the way, this is a little tip. Write a clear, succinct, properly well-argued letter that is grammatically correct. But write it in crayon. And midway through, change colour for no reason. It just unsettles them.
The great thing about Undercurrents is the fact that alternative media is becoming the most important way of people finding out the truth, the most important way of finding out things that people don't want you to know, and the most important way for people to organise themselves, set their own agenda and take a bit of control over their own lives, because the mainstream is shite.
There was an arms fair in the East End of London. Thousands of arms dealers selling people guns to people who are going to fucking use them, which has got to end badly. Loads of people protest it. There's fucking candle wavers, there's Christian CND, there's all sorts, there's blockades, there's some amazing stuff. So me and my mates decided we're going to stop a bus full of BAE Systems arms dealers. And we're going to stop them travelling from Tower Bridge into the East End. We're going to stop the bus by throwing hippies at it, which they're quite flexy and bendy, it doesn't hurt them, all right? And we released them into the wild at the end. Stop! Thanks! The bus stops. Me, Sam, Bobby Baggy and some other members of Fraggle Rock nip underneath and attach ourselves to the axle with a bicycle D-lock and our necks. It's not the best idea we've ever had. As we discussed under the vehicle, this isn't the fucking best idea we've ever had. I can hear my friend Martin negotiating with a driver. All right, mate, let's wait for the police to arrive. I'll get rid of the hippies if you turn off the engine. The driver says, fuck off. Boom! Starts to rev the engine. We're underneath the vehicle, very calm. We're so relieved after 5 minutes when the engine goes off, we spontaneously burst into song. And mates of mine said it made a lovely sequence, because it was like, hippies underneath, hey, Martin, calm down, driver, vroom, vroom. All the arms dealers panic, lock the door of the buses, and are looking frantically out the window. The engine goes off, and from nowhere, they suddenly hear, fly me to the moon and let me sing among the stars. My God, we're being attacked by lounge surrealists. Come out from under the vehicle about an hour later. The police officers got us. There's a helicopter, 4 vans, 40 officers, and a boat in the Thames. At this point, I panic, because I've never been properly arrested before. And I've just suddenly gone, oh, fucking hell, this is going to be on my permanent criminal record. This is terrible. It's going to be like Papillon. They'll put things in me. Oh, fuck. Fuck, it's my turn to pick up the children. Shit! On the bus, I'm shaking so much, I have to put my hands on my knees. There's Sam, Bobby, Baggy, me, and our arresting officers. And I'm sitting there, really nervous. The officer next to me goes, is this your first time, Mark? Yes. Don't worry, I'll be gentle on you. Seriously, Mark, it's just bureaucracy. It's paperwork, it's boring, it's dull. Don't worry, you'll breeze it, you'll be fine. Thank you very much. Half of me is going, he's a very nice man. The other half is going, Stockholm Syndrome, stop it, he's not your friend. I'm just calming down when from behind me, I hear my mate Bobby. Officer! Not now, Bob. They're really nice. Office, said in the way that means, fucker! Don't, Bobby, they're really sweet. Who'd you call if you're burgled, after all? Officer, I got this question. Yes. I was just wondering, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I was just wondering, hypothetically, go on. I was just wondering, if someone phones up the arms fair and says, there's a bomb in the building, would it, technically speaking, be a hoax call? The cop turns round. That depends if there's a detonator in it. What? Another cop? That's not necessarily the case. It's not an engineering workshop, just fucking nick us. Get taken to the station, I've calmed down a bit. Up to the processing desk, 5 computers, 5 officers. Keys, mobile. Name, Mark Thomas. Occupation, comedian. Cop on the end. What a fucking good night he is. And I had a very snappy, pertinent put-down, which I thought of on the way home. Make the phone call, go to the cell, read The Guardian 3 times, look at the graffiti, wonder if I can get away with masturbating, decide not. Ah! Do you want a DNA sample? So, the police come in. Mr. Thomas is a lawyer on the phone. Who is it? Won't say. What company? Won't say. Why are they phoning? Want to check we haven't abused your human rights. That phone's broken. Use that one on the wall behind the processing desk. Just squeeze past the officers, they won't mind. So I have to squeeze behind the officers at the computer. They do mind. And you can see our screen. I pick up the phone, they're here. Hello, it's my mate Martin. They fucked you in the showers yet? I've got legal advice, they're all looking at you. Yes, you wagger.
We're after your video boys, the boys who've been videoing. Are they around and about?
We haven't had any video boys out.
Are you sure?
Well, as far as I'm aware, we haven't had any out.
It's just that loads of people were saying that you had, and we just wanted to have a quick chat.
A van was here, but that's gone.
Oh, that's gone, is it?
With British Transport Police.
Right, okay. So it wasn't one of yours, it was...
Right. I've had no video teams here.
So you haven't, but...
No, and I'm in charge here. I've had no video teams here that I'm aware
So it's the
of.
Transport Police, so...
Yeah.
Right, lovely, okay.
So if that helps you...
That does kind of help. That sort of narrows it down, that's very cool. It's the law, though, that if you're videoed, you can get it back, can't you? You can actually write in and ask for a copy of it. Did you know that?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you can. If it's not being used for a sort of like a court case,
I wouldn't know.
then you can actually write in.
I presume.
And you can say, I'd like the copy of what's gone on.
I wouldn't know.
Are you Transport Police?
I am, yeah.
We've just been told that there's no one filming for the Transport Police by your Chief Inspector. Does he know you're doing this?
Yeah, he should do.
He should do, so he's told a bit of a fib, hasn't he?
I can't tell you. Tell me what he's told you.
He has told a bit of a fib. I'm Mark Thomas, by the way. How are you?
Who are you?
I'm Mark Thomas. Pleased to meet you.
How are you doing, Mark?
I'm all right. What I was wondering
Who are
is...
you, Mark?
What am I?
Who are you with?
What do you mean, who am I with?
What are you?
I'm a comedian.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
I don't.
And what I was wondering was, in fact, we're allowed to legally get copies of that film, aren't we? So who do we write to get a copy?
If you write to our force headquarters...
Do you know the address?
Yeah, Tavistock Police, Tavistock House.
So we write...
London W1, right?
Tavistock Police, Tavistock House...
relevant part of what you...
London W1.
In the video.
And was it 2369? Yep. So if we say it was shot by 2369, and then we say, how long does it take to get through, do you know?
I've got no idea. How long's a piece of string? I don't know.
But I mean, do you get many requests, people saying, can I have that bit of video? We've just met the British Transport Police video team and you told us there wasn't one.
As far as I'm aware, there wasn't.
But they were just around the corner, did you not look?
As far as I was aware, I was briefed there wasn't a video team attached to me today.
But they're British Transport Police.
As far as I'm aware, I wasn't briefed there was a video team attached to me
Right,
today.
are you the senior officer here?
Yes.
So they didn't tell you?
As far as I'm aware, I was not briefed there was a video team attached to me today.
So someone didn't tell you that? That's quite bad, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, I wasn't briefed there was a video team with me today.
Because that kind of like lack of communication just creates problems, doesn't it? Because now it looks like that you've lied to us.
Well, it may look like I lied to you, but in all honesty, I told you the truth. I am not aware of every intelligence gathering operation that's taking place today.
But he is British Transport Police.
I accept, but I'm not aware of every intelligence operation that's being done today.
Don't you think it's a bit weird, though, that the senior police officer on the scene doesn't know that there's a surveillance team working under his force?
No.
You don't think that's odd?
No.
Why does that normally happen?
I'm not aware of every intelligence operation that goes on in London when I'm on duty.
I wondered if I could introduce you to the people who are doing surveillance. They're around the corner.
I'm aware who they are now.
Oh, you know who they are now?
I am now, yes.
All right, so you explained it. So did you know they were here?
As I said earlier on, I'm not prepared to answer anything in front of a camera and be interviewed in front of a camera.
No, no, all it is.
I'm the senior officer in charge.
Yeah.
It's down to me. I wasn't aware.
And he was.
He was briefed by me, and we wasn't aware that there was an intelligence unit.
But have you met your fella? Because I think he's round the corner.
I know who the officer is now. It's been brought to my attention.
Oh, is it your one?
It's been brought to our attention.
Who do they belong to? Right.
It's been brought to our attention. I think we've answered all the questions we can.
Yeah. I just wanted you to, because you didn't know who it was, and I saw him round the corner, and I thought, I'll introduce you to him if you like, and then you'd know him.
I am aware who it is. I have got the operational order. It's been identified who it is. I wasn't aware at the time.
Okay.
We had an intelligence unit on there. I am now.
Okay. If you need any more help in identifying your officers, give us a shout. I'm around.
Sure I can find them, but I'll be able to find them.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you very much for your help.
Cheers for your help. Bye-bye.
What are you going to do the show on this year, Mark? I said, look, the big problem that all of us face is globalization and its fallout. This is where multinationals, primarily American ones, have got more power than any other entity on the planet. They've got the World Trade Organization to back them up legally. The American army, if it goes pear-shaped. The world's resources are not the world's resources, they're theirs. The idea of human rights is just anathema to them. And democracy's a joke because they're more powerful than the governments. And if that statement is true, I should be able to pick any US multinational at random and work backwards. What have they done? What are they doing? Does it match that statement? What company have you chosen? In this bag? On 100 pieces of paper are the names of a top 100 US multinationals. At random, I draw one out before your very eyes, Coca Cola. They're all Coca Cola in that bag, aren't they? Yes. Now, there are a lot of facts in this half of the show, but don't worry, these are proper facts. These are researched facts. They're not pub facts. Do you know what I mean? The bloke in the corner, here, Mark, I've got one for you. Serious. My mate was driving John F. Kennedy when he got fucking done in Dallas. Reckons it was his wife that fucking popped him. Jackie, fucking straight up. Seriously, play the film slowly, puff of fucking powder comes out the handbag. Like that, fucking killed him. Here's another one for you, Mark. Fucking Queen's a man. A mate of mine had a piss next to him at Ascot. Fucking like that.
50 in all who took a long fall in the rising against the machine.
Coca-Cola in India opened up a bottling plant in Plashamada in the south in Kerala. They dug boreholes into the aquifer, took the water from the ground, and the place went dry. Hundreds of farmers lose their crops. They've got no money. They become indebted to the banks. Thousands of croppers have got no work. People are walking 7 kilometres just to get fresh water, but Coca-Cola's still coming out of the factory. The second big fact you need to know is in Colombia. 8 trade unionists working for Coca-Cola bottlers have been assassinated by paramilitary death squads. One of them, a guy called Isidro Segundo Gil, was killed inside the plant. The death squad get past the security, find the person they want, kill him, leave, nothing happens. His wife campaigns for justice, she's killed. In America, the Teamsters, the steel workers, with Sinantrinal, the Colombian Food and Drinks Workers Union, are bringing a court case, accusing the Coca-Cola bottlers in Colombia of collaborating or hiring the paramilitaries to kill, kidnap, torture and disappear trade unionists. About 4 years ago, lying on a sofa, Led Zeppelin, Noam Chomsky, page 1. Phone goes. Pick up the phone, and it's a guy called Peter Wilby, who is the editor of the New Statesman magazine, a left-of-centre Labour shit rack. I pick up the magazine. And I absolutely fucking promises you, he speaks like that. Seriously, I think you've just asked me to write for the magazine. I said, well, we should have a chat about it if that's at all possible. He said, it's coming for lunch. So I go to meet him and he says to me, write about. I said, I think you've asked me what I'll write about. Yeah. I said, well, you know, I'd write about how the government uses taxpayers' money to subsidise private industry, about how the IMF actually creates world debt and then uses conditionality to increase privatisation. Absolutely right, they're bastards, get them all. And he's one of these upper-class fellas who's got a real kind of, no, they're fuckers, get them all. And I like him. He's fucking nuts. And he also has got all the arrogance of his class, you know, vowels, consonants, you work out what I'm saying, I know what I mean. 9/11 happens, and I'm writing about Colombia and how George Bush has just approved $1 billion of military aid to Colombia. Colombia come third on the list of free guns from America after Israel and Egypt. Now, there are 5 military brigades in Colombia. The paramilitaries are so entwined, they're called the 6th Brigade. You arm the military, you arm the paramilitary death squads. I wrote all this down, got to the last paragraph, merely wrote, if it is right that we put a bounty on Osama bin Laden's head for his role in supporting terrorism, then it only seems fair to me that we put one on George Bush's head for his support of terrorism in Colombia. Full stop, end of sentence, no problem. I therefore offer 4,320 quid to anyone who can kill George Bush. Brackets, this is the sum total of my earnings writing for the New Statesman, close brackets. Any assassins reading, don't go weird. Don't keep his head in the fridge. Don't snack on his heart for his power. Just kill him. Kill him, send me your details, I'll sort you out, I'll do postal orders if you want. My preferred method of killing, for those interested, is a lethal papier-mâché weapon crafted from flour, water and Enron share certificates. Email it off, think I'm in for a row, cup of tea, deep breath, pick up the phone. Peter, have you got, you can't, possibly can't, you can't have this, you can't, what do you mean I can't? I'm telling you, you can't. Well, I'm telling you I can. I am the editor, you can't. I am telling you, I am making an argument of moral equivalence. If we do not judge people equally, we have no right judging anyone. I am telling you as the editor, you cannot. Well, if you can't take an argument of moral equivalence, you shouldn't be editor. It's not that I'm worried about. I just don't want people seeing how little I pay you. So we inflate the price, publish it, the front cover of the magazine that week, right on the front it's got, Mark Thomas special offer, a bounty on Bush. This could go wrong. 24 hours past, the first emails come in from mates. Fucking hell, we've just seen your article, we've put it up on the bulletin board, well done. Friends of mine from America are emailing in. For fuck's sake! Get me off the mailing list right now! The phone goes. I think, brilliant, it's Peter. Pick it up. Hello? Hello, this is Radio 4, the Today programme. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting... No one expects the Today programme. Are you prepared to come on the radio show live tomorrow morning and defend your offer of money to kill the President of America? Woo. Hang on a minute, cowboy. That wasn't a serious offer. What if people take it seriously? Well, if people take a comic writing in a left-of-centre magazine saying, go and kill the most powerful man on earth with a lethal papier-mâché weapon, if they take that seriously, they're going to take instructions from the fucking yoghurt pot. Why did you kill the president? I opened the fridge door. The light went on. It was the Lord. So, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola starts with another friend of mine called Jeff. He's very big, very wide, very tall. Blonde, curly hair, about 50. Irredeemably middle class and irredeemably decent. And he lives in Pinner, which I didn't think existed outside of a sitcom, but it is there. We start researching Coca-Cola. We phone each other up with facts in the middle of the night. I've got a fact for you. I've got one for you. You first. Did you know that Coca-Cola sponsored and financed George Bush's election campaign? Fuck, they're very powerful politically, Mark. For example, the chief executive of Coca-Cola in Mexico is Vicente Fox, the man who went on to become president. The chief executive of the Monsanto subsidiary that invented aspartame, the active ingredient in Diet Coke, was a man you might know, Donald Rumsfeld, Fuck. Nixon was Pepsi's lawyer before he went on to become president. Under freedom of information, there are actually missives between Pepsi and Nixon asking to destabilise the Andy government. Fuck. They are very powerful. You have Pepsi presidents, you have Coke presidents. Carter was a Coca Cola president. Reagan was a Pepsi president. George W is a magic mushroom milkshake. But you know whose side he's on. Well, I've got a fact for you. Did you know 2 years ago, 1,500 black workers in the company's hometown of Atlanta took the company to court on a charge of racial discrimination? The company settled out of court, and the total sum of compensation packages comes to $750 million. How much racism is that? They had to be going to work with white pointy hoods. Hold my cross, boy, and don't blow it out. Hail, fellow director, Ron Atkinson. Well met, sir. So, he said, did you know, though, that it's increasingly hard to criticize multinational food giants? In America, in 13 states, there are food libel laws. You cannot publicly criticize food unless you do it purely from a scientific basis. If you say the words, soft drinks are bad for your health, McDonald's is shit, you can be sued. In 13 states, I can be sued by food? What am I supposed to do, string out the case and hope it goes past its sell-by date? What the fuck is going on? The only way we can beat these junk food fuckers is going into McDonald's with Stephen Hawkins. This food tastes like Builder's Chug Nuts. Sue me, you fuckers. I am the brainiest man in the world. You are evil little corporate fuck pigs, you capitalist fuckers, you fat cat evil fucking profiteering fuck shit. Your fucking shakes have less protein than my semen, you evil fuck shit fuckers. Short history of Coca-Cola. Invented in the 1880s in Atlanta. The inventor was a man called John Pemberton, who comes back from the Civil War addicted to morphine. The inventor of Coke is a junkie. I see him as a guy with a Stetson. Now, Coca-Cola was a mix of caffeine, cocaine, and heavy red wine. Just something to calm me down. And this is fantastic. The inventor of the world's premier selling soft drink was a junkie knocking out cocaine and red wine. Fucking brilliant. Because my mate Sam's been experimenting with cider and ketamine. Coca-Cola's coming. So, 1886, the red wine comes out. 1903, officially, the cocaine comes out. For some reason, John Pemberton sells the company because the fund's not in it anymore. The name Coca-Cola comes from the cocaine. Obviously, Coca-Cola, cocaine. It could have been any drug. Could have been heroin, dopa-cola. Hashish, smoke-a-cola. Acid, oh, my bollocks look like Dumbo's wings. Ola. And to be fair to the company, cocaine use was socially acceptable at the time. It was very cheap and readily available, unlike today. There are the dealers. So, I was flicking through, just to prove a point, I was flicking through an old book of adverts from the end of the 19th century. And there's an advert there advertising cocaine tooth drops for the teething child. Well, the children can't sleep because of problems with their teeth. Give them the cocaine tooth drops. Potty, 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 potty. It's fucking nuts. The nice thing about flicking through the book, I should say, was that I suddenly realised that advertisers then were considerably more naive than they are today. Because there's one picture, it's just a brick wall with the slogan, "Buy soap, it washes you clean." And I thought someone pitched for that. Someone went in for the meeting. I've got a slogan, it better be good. Buy soap, it washes you clean. You're a genius, it'll cost. And you wouldn't get that today. What you'd get today is a TV advert where the camera comes in on a long shot, panning in along the tiled floor, comes up to a bath, starts coming in across the soap suds. A woman's knee breaks the water, comes back down, the camera follows. It follows the soap suds as they skim the quim, just coming up, covering up the nipples, and up comes the slogan, "Buy soap, it washes you clean." Subtext, fuck the soapy lady. Fuck the soapy lady, buy the soap, she'll suck your cock. I've got loads of that soap. Anyway, the key to Coca-Cola is this. Any multinational, sell as much, for as much, pay as little as possible to do it. And that's where they come into conflict with us. Coke want to dominate how we drink. You only have to look at where they've got vending machines everywhere. They've got vending machines in Dachau. In Brazil, they have an experimental vending machine where the price chip is linked to the thermometer, and the hotter it gets, the more the price goes up automatically, because that's supply and demand. In America, they're so huge, they have their own syndrome of death. Each year, in North America, 14 people on average die because they do not get the correct product from the vending machine, shake it, it crushes them to death. There is an element of Darwinian selection in this process. But the victims wouldn't know that. In Texas, the brand is so strong that on death row, 50% of the prisoners choose Coca-Cola in their final meal. And of that, 20% choose Diet Coke. You just gotta look good in the chair. And I was thinking, how do we fight this company? A couple of months back, I was scrolling through the internet with some mates. We come across a website that shows that the corporations are organising a conference on corporate social responsibility. How smart companies are using ethics for profit and benefit. We think, who's attending? Scroll through. BP, Exxon, News International, Levi's, Marks and Spencer's, Gap, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. We're like, fuck, they're all here. Organise a demo. We put out leaflets in the style of a carpet warehouse sale. Want to fight multinationals but can't pick which ones to choose? Want to stop oil wars but can't fit it into your busy modern everyday schedule? Now your worries are over with the one-stop shop for corporate bastards, or the scum under one roof. Loads of people turn up at the conference outside to demonstrate. We've got climbers, we've got drummers, we've got people with banners. We had fucking great banners. Union busting, child obesity, animal cruelty. We're loving it. My favourite banner, Baby Gap. Old enough to wear them, old enough to make them. So... we all turn up and somehow me and a mate blag our way into the conference. I'm not quite sure how we did it. Because we walked in and these fucking guys ran at us like stormtroopers. What are you doing? And I went a bit Obi-Wan. We are chief executives here to visit. They are chief executives. Let them through. They're here to visit. So we get in. They're all sitting listening to this lecture. And the drummers that we've got outside start. Thum, dum, 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 dum. All the chief execs. Thum, dum, dum. Hippies. Thum, dum, dum. Thousands of them. Thum, dum, 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 dum. Don't shoot until you see the reds of their eyes. After this, we get talking to a former legal advisor from McDonald's. And he says, apropos of nothing, companies got to be very careful about their ethical perception with the public. For example, Coca-Cola have got real problems with the public and the way they perceive their ethics because they didn't take what happened in Colombia seriously enough. When McDonald's are slagging off Coca-Cola over ethics, this is off the fucking scale. This is like the BNP guy, and all that Prince Philip's a bit racist, isn't he? And regardless of whether the company colluded with the paramilitaries, they benefited from their action. In the north of Colombia, in the Carepa plant, that's where the bulk of the assassinations took place. They blew up the trade union office. The paramilitaries camped outside the plant. They forced the workers to sign away their trade union rights. They issued death threats to the surviving trade union members. They fled in fear of their lives. They disappeared, they went into hiding, they went into exile. The union was crushed. And the first thing the company did was introduce a wage cut. That's how they behave. over a fucking sugary drink. Because that's all it is. In each 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola, there is the equivalent of 12 sugar lumps. 12! That's off the builder's scale. When did you last go in a cafe, see a plaster, a cup of tea, milk, 12 sugars, love? Go on, I'll count them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not fucking about. 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll take some of the water out, sweetheart. 9, 10, 11, 12. Kids are drinking 4 or 5 cans of this a day. In America, the company sponsors the school and insisted that their advertising hoardings went in the boys' urinals in the schools at head height, so all the children could have, bang, total fucking advertising. And bless them, the children organised a campaign called Aim Higher. What you doing, fighting capitalism? And I was like, how do we fight this company? And I was really fortunate because ActionAid paid for me to go to India at the beginning of this year, to go down to Plashamada, hook up with the landless Adivasi, the untouchables, £5 a month, the poorest of the poor. And I was talking to them because they've had a fucking 24-hour-a-day picket outside that plant. It's gone on for over 900 days. And I was going, do you think you're going to win it? We have already won. I said, what do you mean? He said, they have stopped taking water from the ground. We forced them to do that. Now, if they want to make Coca-Cola, they have to bring in water in tankers, in water lorries. And I was talking to this student, and I said, have you been involved much in anything around it? Yes, we have been doing a lot of direct action. I said, what have you been doing? He said, well, a group of us, we got in front of one of the Coca-Cola lorries that was coming with its water, and we stopped it. I said, oh, I did something like that. He said, yes, but in your country, I do believe it is illegal to run someone over. The next day, we're after another chap. He is a friend of a friend of a friend and a spokesperson for an organisation. We catch up with him. He doesn't really want to talk, but we got a tip to sort of, you know, hold out the carrot of Andhra Pradesh, his subject. We just went, no, Andhra Pradesh? Ah, Andhra Pradesh is the World Trade Organization's secret laboratory. Every crazy privatization they have, they try on us first. They opened up a Coca-Cola bottling plant there, though, didn't they? They did indeed. Did you have a campaign against it? Of sorts. What did you do? We blew it up. You blew it up? Yes, we said to the workers, quick, quick, out, blowing up factory. Did you not start with a petition? Because that's a bit 0 to 60. Me and Sam couldn't do that. We'd be in the meeting going, right, geez, we're going to blow it up. Shit, burn! And there'd be someone in the meeting. Global warming. Oh, fuck. We need solar-powered Semtex. In 1936, Coca-Cola sponsored the Berlin Olympics, Hitler's Aryan showcase. 38, Coca-Cola were advertising in the Nazi army press, thus financially assisting the regime. 38, the Nazis invade Sudetenland. Coca-Cola opened up a bottling plant in the occupied territory. 2 weeks after that invasion, Coca-Cola published an advert in the Nazi press. A picture of a bottle of Coke over a map of the world and the slogan, yes, we have an international reputation. Fuck, they don't tell you that on the adverts. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. It's the right thing. Fuck. He said, in 1941, Mark, Coca-Cola Germany ran out of syrup with which to make Coca-Cola. So they invented a new drink, specifically for the Nazi market, out of the ingredients they had available to them. And that drink, Mark, was Fanta. Fanta is the drink of Nazis. Fucking hell, Jeff, it's the drink of holidays. It's what I drink when I go abroad. So did the Nazis. 5 months ago, we get a phone call from Sinantrino, the Food and Drinks Workers Union. They say you have to come and help us. In Colombia, since '87, 4,000 trade unionists have been murdered by paramilitary death squads. It's hard. You have to come and help us. You have to see what's going on, and people who want to see it, kill us, have to see that we've got friends internationally. So we organised an international delegation, people from all over the world. My friend Emilio went, who's a Spaniard, who was our translator, long hair, big goatee beard. He's like a sort of a narco version of Manuel from 40 Towers. Fuck the state. So I went along, and Emilio taught me one phrase in Spanish before we left. Dispara el corsta primero. Shoot the crusty first. Two friends of ours come from Sussex, political science students, called Mariella and Marcella. Smart people, dressed like disco bunnies. If you fuck them off, they go, what? We fly out. We get to Bogota. We're taken immediately to the Union Hall. There, hundreds of people have assembled. They've come from miles and miles around to testify, to bear witness, to explain that if you're a trade unionist, you're a target. If you're opposed to privatisation, you're a target. If you want to find the body of a disappeared loved one, you're a target. If you're in a co-op, you're a target. If you're in favour of human rights, you're a target. And they've come from all over. Sometimes they've prepared their statements, sometimes they've typed them, sometimes they've translated them. Sometimes they speak from the heart, sometimes it's dispassionate, sometimes they try not to cry, sometimes they don't manage. And it goes on. After 3 hours, Sam gets up, here geezer, I don't fucking do meetings, and fucks off. I find him at a street off licence uttering the words, brew special. Drag him back in just as a Colombian punkette called Nadia takes to the stage. We think this is going to be long. Thank you for coming. My name is Nadia. Help us out. Our country is fucked. Thank you. Wow. You were quick. Sam rushes over. You were great. Why are you here? We're trying to get this art exhibition up. You are artists of sorts. I am an anarchist artist. Wow. Fuck the Tate. I don't understand the reference. Well, it's great that you're here. What are you doing? I am doing anti-corporate art. I am doing artwork on Coca-Cola. But the trade union will not use my artwork. Why not? I don't know. Look, here, a picture of Hitler masturbating a bottle of Coke and coming swastikas. Mariella, whatever. So, you must come on my radio show. We do a radio show. Come on. The next day, we're on their public radio station, but the station is having a nervous breakdown because it's about to be privatised. They're beginning to say things they shouldn't really say because they've got no job to worry about. Emilio is there translating. We've got fucking everyone. We've got Colombian hip-hop, punk rock. The fucking studio's crammed. With us is Edgar from the trade union. I am here for the boycott. With us is the Italian delegation for the human rights. Mark from London. Emilio is translating for me. He says before we start, be careful what you say. It has consequences. You are not on your home patch. I'll be fine. Mark, what do you think about Coca-Cola internationally? I think they are the beverage wing of US imperialism. Emilio translates. The fucking room goes crazy. People are punching the air. Viva, viva, viva! I turn to Emilio. Your translation was a lot longer than my statement. What the fuck does La Lucha continua hasta la victoria mean? It means the struggle continues until the victory forever. I didn't say that, but you meant it, and that is what is important. Mark, what do you think about the amnesty for the death squads? It's an obscenity. Viva, viva, viva! Mark, what do you think about the president saying human rights activists are in league with terrorists? Okay, listen up good. Uribe Vélez, you're the president. Now, one of your spooks, your goons, your informers, your spies, your paramilitaries is going to be listening out there. I want you to take note. If you think I am in league with terrorists, come and arrest me. Come and get me. They know where I am. I've got my details at the airport. Nip over, grab them. You'll find out the hotel I'm staying at. You come and arrest me. Put me on trial. Let's see the evidence. Let's see who's a terrorist. Emilio is speaking very quickly in the microphone. What are you saying? I am just reminding them you are a comedian. Trust me on this one. The next day, we go to visit our friend Luis Eduardo Garcia, and we're travelling in an armour-plated Jeep because the threat is so great, they need the protection. One of the trade union bodyguards is driving us. He's driving along, and he's got 2 pistols, one under each leg, with the handle and the trigger sticking out, ready to rock and roll should it kick off. I'm in the back with Emilio. Fuck Emilio, tell the man I can't fucking have this. I'm morally opposed to these weapons. You tell the man I'm morally opposed to the weapons. I can't fucking have this. Da, 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 da. What did he say? He said, so is he, but he finds them very practical on occasion. We meet up with our friend Luis Eduardo Garcia. He works for Coca-Cola. He's involved in the trade union. He delivers Coke for a living and does it wearing a boycott Coca-Cola t-shirt. Here is your Coca-Cola. How is business? Terrible. Well done. That night, we're staying in the gated compound where he lives because they're under such threat. They need the protection. And Luis Eduardo says, did you know Coca-Cola tried to fit me up as a terrorist? I said, no. He said, they did. They say, Luis Eduardo, he detonated a bomb. They called the police to the plant. Luis Eduardo has set off a bomb. The police say, where is the damage? The company say, he has cleaned up after him. That night, Luis Eduardo is delayed at work. So we're with his wife, his son, who the paramilitaries tried to kidnap, and his granddaughter, who's 3 years old. We decide that actually, because we're here, we offer some protection against the paras. So we pile into a car to head up to the top of the mountains, to a bar up there. We leave the compound, and as the gates open, you can see the paramilitaries on the corner, but we're feeling in a great mood. We head straight up to the top of this mountain, and there, at the top, the city just opens up beneath you, and the birds hit the thermals. And this bar is just this giant concrete discus that juts out across the mountain. There's no furniture, just a rail, loudspeakers and a bar in the corner. We get there and the little girl who's 3 sees the space. She's never been in this much space before. She flings her arms open and charges into the middle of it, soaking up every inch of freedom and twirling with a smile upon her face. And I suddenly thought, she's a target because of what her grandfather does. And I just felt homesick. 4 weeks after we get back, the first emails arrive detailing the people who've been killed. The people that we met in Bucaramanga, a nurse who's been shot 3 times trying to get home. Her crime being in a health trade union. 2 months after that, we lose 3 people, peasant leaders, trade unionists, all supporters of the boycott. Publicly executed by the army in broad daylight on the street. 3 weeks ago, we lost a peasant leader whose body was found tortured and killed. And at the funerals, they have this chant. And the chant is, for the dead, for the dead. Not a minute's silence, not a minute's silence, but a lifetime of struggle for the dead. And they don't ask that of us. They don't ask a lifetime of struggle. They don't ask us to come out and get in the way. They don't ask us to take on the paramilitaries. They say this, please, if you want to help, don't buy Coca-Cola. It's the most reasonable request I think I've ever heard. Thanks for coming. No. Thanks very much.